Good morning, YouTube. Yesterday I ran out of glue, and wouldn't you know it, it happened when I had more stuff to do. But so I had to go and make emergency run to Lowe's, which turned into a run to the grocery store. And oh, by the way, let's go ahead and get pizza. And after the pizza, my wife had me do a few other things. You know how the honey-do list goes. Yeah. So this morning is the next day, and we get to continue the work we've been doing on the grow beds and try to get this finished up. The goal today is to get it to where I've got water coming into the system, because yesterday we got it all going out of the system. And once we get these fittings all set up, we'll be ready to have water actually come into the grow beds. So come along with us today as we get a little bit of work done here on the farm. Let's get to work. On to the next one. On to the next one. Okay, that's the 3 hookups for the grow beds. This one's going to be for everything in the middle. The one that I just did over these grow beds are for these 3. And then we've got another drop over there that's going to handle the float table and some other stuff that we haven't installed yet. We're still figuring this out and engineering it as we go. But anyway, I got a surprise here in a second. I'm going to show you what's going to be hanging off of all of these. Yesterday, when I made my emergency run to Lowe's to go pick up supplies, I decided to go ahead and pick up some timers because I needed them. And what these are is it's a little electronic timer that will go and fix it so that we can time the water coming into all of the grow beds. And it basically screws on here. And then ports 1, 2, 3, and 4, we'll go and put irrigation tubing off of these and make them go to the grow beds. This way each timer can handle 4 different zones, and it can go and do its thing 4 times a day, which is about right for what we're doing. Let's go install the rest of them. I'm going to need something to hold that up. one of the things I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to go bonkers with zip ties. All of this plumbing has to be zip tied about every 6 inches to a foot, because once it gets full of water, it gets extremely heavy. So we're going to zip tie it down to everything. And one of the reasons why I'm doing zip ties is because if I go and do metal pipe straps, I got to go and fiddle with a bunch of hardware and everything, but more importantly, if you decide to reconfigure things, taking it apart is an awful lot of fun. Zip ties, the UV stabilized black zip ties, good ones, not necessarily the ones from your local home improvement place, but an electrical supply place is the one that carries the good ones. These things will last for quite a few years. The ones from your local home improvement place, they come from a place over on the other side of the ocean that is responsible for our current COVID-19 problems. And let's just say their manufacturing isn't exactly up to snuff, and when they say it's UV stabilized, don't believe them. Go to the electrical supply house and get the good ones. I've got some that I paid good money for, and yes, they were more expensive, but they've been out in the sun for over 15 years, and when you try to cut them, they're still tough. They're not brittle and fall apart. Some of the ones that I bought from my local home improvement warehouse, less than a year later out in the sun, you go and reach up, tug on them, and they'll come apart in your hand. So do yourself a favor and go get the good ones. Anyway, we've got the timer installed on 2 of them, and the third one, although it's going to look a little funny because it's going to be hanging out in open space, it's not going to be hanging out in open space for very long. We're going to be installing some grow beds, some grow tubes along this the center line of all of the posts, and well, you'll see where we're going here in a bit. I'm sure you'll stick around for the next episode where we'll show you. On to the next one. This is the one that I was talking about. Looks like it's going to be hanging out in free space. It's not going to be hanging out in free space. This will actually have stuff underneath it that isn't here yet. There we go. Go and hang 4 hoses off of it, and ta-da! That part of the project is done. Now that I've reached this point, we've got water from the recirculation pump and everything going to the grow beds, and as you saw in the last video, we've got all the drain plumbing from the grow bed reservoir all the way back into the system. So now we've got a recirculating system. And now we can go start washing volcanic rock and gathering up hydroton and start filling up our grow beds. That's going to be in another episode. So come back and see us, hang out on the farm, and watch us get a little work done. Stay tuned for bonus footage. Here comes Mrs. P. You guys this morning are in for a treat. You're going to get to see something nobody ever sees. Mrs. P wandering around in her bathrobe in the morning after her morning pee, watering her plants with fishy water.
From a body armor bottom.
What is that, an airplane going by or a truck?
No, it may be our trash truck. It is Tuesday.
Oh, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's
Yep,
back upstairs.
that's the trash truck. We live on a farm where most people have trash cans. We have a dumpster, and so do our neighbors. So when this guy shows up, it's a Tuesday morning event. He's got multiple dumpsters to empty.
Crash, bang, smash.
Yeah, lots of noise. We always know when he's here because
Sounds like
he's not exactly quiet.
accident.
Sounds like what?
It's been an accident sometimes when he's been here. Crash, bang, smash. Some of them don't really do well. They need to get much more.
I think you need a bigger water bottle, dear. Yeah, all these plants are going to end up in grow beds here real soon.
Favorite word is sale, discount, free. Remember?
Mm-hmm.